Biggest misconception I see about fighting games, especially from new players, is that they need to sit in training mode for hours upon hours to master their combos before even thinking about fighting another person. I'm here to tell you that that not only is wrong, but that approach, in my opinion, is detrimental to your overall improvement. But first, let me do my YouTube thing. If you like the content I produce, I make multi-blood content, fighting game content. Consider dropping a like and subscribing, it helps out the channel a ton. Let's get into this. Alright. Training mode is important. While I typically dislike spending a ton of time in there, some people do. If you do, I'm not trying to tell you not to do something you enjoy. But if you're like me, I want to play with people. That's where my joy in fighting games lie. I think it is important to spend enough time in training to get the general feeling of a character, mess around with them, figure out some combos. Don't force yourself to live in there until you can pull off the optimal highest damage combo there is. Instead, learn some more stable beginner combos so you can start actually playing the game against people. First of all, playing against someone will be the quickest way for you to figure out if the character even feels right for you. Neutral and defense aren't something you typically explore going into training mode, especially with a new character or game. Yet, those are some of the most important parts of a fighting game. Are you sure you even like the character that you're spending hours on in training mode? When I was first learning MBAC, I spent a good amount of time using Half Moon Len. A few days later, I started playing people online, and then I ended up not really liking how Len played. Her punish game felt fine, that's what I worked on in the training mode. But I didn't like the feel of the Half Moon system mechanics, specifically the lack of defensive ones. So I just flushed away a couple days on this character that I'm never going to play again because I didn't want to get out of training mode. Something else that isn't as apparent in only training mode is you don't always have the perfect setup. I eventually found my main in Full Moon Rice Bife, or Roast Beef, or however you want to say it. And in training, I practiced a lot of her 2A combos, and she's got an amazing 2A, and I combo off it all the time when I'm playing matches. But I also found myself landing a lot of 5B pokes. So after I was done playing online, I went to the wiki. I looked up 5B starter combos. After that, I found out about the 6C mix-up. Uncharged 6C is at worst even on block, allowing me to reset my block string, while charged 6C is an overhead. When landing the charged 6C, I wasn't following up with anything. So I quickly hopped over to training mode and found combos for those starters. The point I'm trying to get at is, I wouldn't have found how useful these specific combos were if I didn't just play the game. Training mode is a tool to use, not a room to lock yourself in. You need to play the game to find out what needs to be tuned. If anything, something I don't see talked about enough is watching replays. Replays are the greatest tool no one talks about. Fighting games are hectic and can be really fast depending on what you're playing. Being able to rewatch your games is an underrated tool to help you quickly improve. You get to see what worked, how you got your openings, but more importantly, you get to see how you messed up. Did you keep using a specific move that kept getting punished over and over again? If your goal is improvement at the quickest rate possible, I believe finding your own mix of replays, training, and online matches is the key to finding success. Play matches to get your starting point, feel out what you need to improve at, then watch those replays to see the problems you might have missed by only feel. Once you have all of this data, hop into training mode to recreate those problems and come up with solutions. Training mode is a tool. Use it wisely. At the end of the day, enjoy the game.